Sugar and Milk by Umrigar, illustrated by Khon Lo.
Milk and sugar.
Yeah, milk and sugar or sugar and milk. Sugar and milk. Oh, look at that. When I first came to this country, I felt so alone. The footprints in the snow, the tall buildings. I knew Auntie and Uncle were happy to have me. They filled my room with books and toys and painted it purple, my favorite color. But my friends and my family were all back home. I missed my mom and my dad and my cats, Kulfi and Baklava, too. After Auntie and Uncle left for work, I sat alone in my room, thinking of my old friends and longing to make new ones, looking out the window. Uncle and Auntie were worried, didn't know how to help me. Then one day, Auntie came into my room. "Let's go for a walk," she said with a smile. As we walked, Auntie told me a story. There once lived a group of people in the ancient land of Persia.
Mama.
Look at that. Look at it. Who were forced to leave their home and seek refuge somewhere else. You know what those animals are called? They're called camels. Can you say camel?
Camel.
Yeah, and look at that hot sun. "Come, my people," said the leader. "Now that we have to leave the home we know so much, we must find a new land that we can call our own." So they built few boats, and sailed the mighty sea until they arrived at the shores of India and begged to be given shelter. But the local king did not want to let them in. "Our land is too crowded," he grumbled, "with no room for others. Besides, these visitors look foreign and speak a strange and different language I do not understand." Oh, look at that. Look at that fancy seat. You know what that's called, Benji? It's called a throne. Can you say throne?
Throne.
The king went to the seashore. Oh no, what's there? Where the ragged traveler stood and ordered them to leave. But they couldn't understand him because he spoke a strange and different language. They did not understand. They both could not understand each other, Benji. The king sighed impatiently. He snapped his fingers and ordered his servant to bring him to an empty glass. He filled the glass with milk all the way to the very top and silently pointed to it. It was his way of saying, "My apologies to you. I would have loved to help. You look like very fine people. Even though they speak a strange and different language I do not understand. But just as a glass is filled to the brim with no room for more, so are we full up in my little crowded kingdom." Oh, look at that. He used the milk as an analogy. The travelers had come from afar, and they were tired and hungry and cold, and very sad to be turned away. See their faces looking down, some crying. Just then, their leader spoke. He was a small and clever man with an ever-present smile on his lips. Oh, can you show me smile? Show me your smile. Oh, wow. "Just a minute, O mighty king," he said. "A moment, sir, of your time. What do you think he's going to say?" What's he gonna say? He might say that. And before the king could speak, the leader dug into his old tattered sack and pulled out a spoonful of sugar. Look at Benji. A spoonful of sugar. Do you see the spoonful of sugar?
Yes.
Where is it? Can you point to it? There it is. That's a big sack of sugar. It's like your tablespoon we do coffee. He stirred the sugar into the glass slowly, carefully dissolving every grain of sugar, making sure he didn't spill a single drop of milk. He smiled as he pointed silently to the king's glass. Oh, now the leader is making an analogy, Benji. Between two wise people, sometimes words are not necessary. The king understood what the leader meant. If you let us stay, O mighty king, we will live in peace beside all of you.
Come on.
Look at this, Benji. Look at these birds. And just like sugar and milk, we will sweeten your lives with our presence. The king stared at the sweetened milk. His lips twitched. First he smiled. Then he grinned and smiled. Finally he roared with laughter. Do you think the king is happy? Do you think the leader is happy? They look pretty happy. And look at that! What are they doing?
Hugging.
They're hugging. The king hugged the group of travelers. Welcome to your new home, he cried. May you live with us forever in peace and joy. That's nice. They're living together in harmony. And even though the strangers didn't follow a word the king said, because he spoke a strange and different language they did not understand, everybody knew what a hug means. And all people speak the language of laughter, so no one had a problem understanding what the other meant. Thus the Persians, oh look at this, Benji, look at these. Remember this? These feathers? These feathers are peacock feathers. India became their new home, and they kept their ancient promise of spreading happiness wherever they went. After Auntie finished telling me this old story, we walked quietly for a few moments. What are they standing on?
Bridge.
A bridge. I looked around me, stopped, and then I took another step into the dazzling light of America. Nothing had changed, and yet everything had. See the reflection of the bridge? And she's thinking. She's thinking. What do you think she's thinking, Benji?
Hey, it's there. There.
Oh, look
Thinking.
at that. Look at that. I began to smile at the people we passed,
No.
and they returned my smile. Everybody I say hello to say hello back to me. Even the dogs seemed friendly and wagged their tails faster. Benji, do we have dogs where we live? Do we have dogs near us? And we have neighbors we wave and smile to? Oh, look at this. I laughed out loud. Can you laugh? Can you laugh? And wondered why I had ever been sad or lonely in such a welcoming place. Look at that. The dog's licking her face. And the people are playing basketball and just waving. They're waving back. Oh, look at that. The next day when I left the house, I asked Auntie for a pack of sugar. I kept it in my pocket to remind me to make things sweeter wherever I wander. In my new and magical homeland. Look at that. What is this, Benji? What instrument is this? Right here. What's this right here?
Tube.
It's a saxophone. Can you say saxophone?
Saxophone.
Yeah. And that was the end of the book. And that was called Sugar in Milk.